Furat Aureli comites Catulli, si ven extre mos penetrabit indos, litus ut longe resonante ova tunditor unda. Si ven hurcan nos arabesve moles, seu sagas sagitte ferosve partos, sive quae septem gemenus colorat aequora nilus. Sive trans altas gradiatur Alpes, Caesaris visens monumenta magni Gallicum re norribilae quor ultimosque Bretanos. Omni aeque cumque ferret voluntas, caelitum temptare simul parati. Pauca nuntiate meae puellae non bona dicta. Cum suis vivat valeatque moicis, quos simul complexa tenet tre centos. Nulla mans vere, sed edente domni illium rempens. Nec meum respectet tutant amorem, quillius culpa cedit velut prati, ultimi flos praeter reunte postquam tactus aratrost. The poems that we have of Catullus aren't necessarily published in the correct order. This is poem 11 of 116, yet this had to be one of Catullus's last poems before he mysteriously dies, in 54 BC. Here, the affair with Lesbia is over, and he's naturally bitter about it. The meter of this poem are Sapphic stanzas, the meter for which Sappho of Lesbos was most famous. Here we have the typical line, going long, short, long, long, short, short, long, long, and every fourth line is long, short, long, short. This last short line is sometimes called the Adonic verse, and sometimes Catullus will vary the fourth syllable of our regular line and make it short, as he does in lines 6 and 15. We'll begin with Catullus addressing his comites, his companions, Aurelius and Furius. These two make an appearance in several of Catullus's poems, often together, and often as strange friends that Catullus doesn't quite respect. The key idea in lines 2 through 12 is that Furius and Aurelius are willing to go to the ends of the earth for Catullus. So he literally, in the sense of with words, takes them on a geographical trip around the edges of the known world. We first start off in India, beyond which is the ocean that surrounds the world. The eastern shore of India would thus reflect the edge of the world. Notice the nice resonant sound of tunditorunda in the Adonic verse. Then we're going to move from the extreme east to the Middle East. The Hyrcani and Arabes are often referenced in Roman literature for their effeminacy, which is reinforced by the moles in line 5. The Sagai and Parthi are the most recent military foes of the Romans, and the Parthians were especially known for their horse archers. And finally, we come to the Nile, which traditionally had 7 mouths where it met the Mediterranean. Now let's skip Italy and begin traveling further west and north, especially since this poem was written during Caesar's war in Gaul. The reference to Caesar crossing the Rhine with a temporary bridge allows us to date this poem to at least no earlier than 55 BC. This was the same year that Caesar crossed over the Channel and invaded Britannia for the first time. So we've established that Furius and Aurelius are at least the possible traveling buddies of Catullus. The Omnia Haec, which begins the second half of the poem, changes the tone just a bit. All of these things. Take the parati in line 14 as describing Furius and Aurelius, prepared, and it takes the infinitive temptare. Instead of traveling, Catullus has something more important in store. Pauca, which refers to the dicta in the next line. Nuntiate meae puellae non bona dicta. Make sure you take the non to modify bona. These are not good words. Vivat valeatque in line 17 directly references Catullus's vivamus me lesbiatque memos. They are jussive subjunctives, although valeat is almost literally goodbye. You should still translate it like a jussive, though. The last word in this line is almost powerful. Moikis, with her adulterers. Literally, these are the lovers of a married woman. And now we see what Catullus's real opinion of Lesbia is. Moikis is ablative plural, so how many adulterers does Lesbia have? Trecentos? No way! And in lines 19 through 20, we find out that she really loves none, but identidem, repeatedly, omnium of all, ilia rumpens. The last sapphic stanza begins with another jussive, nec meum respectet tot amorem. The qui in line 22 refers to Catullus' love for her, while the culpa, by her fault, is Catullus' own specific euphemism for infidelity. At the end of this line, we get introduced to a gentle and quite beautiful simile of a flower at the edge of a plowed field, grazed by the passing plow. Much like how Catullus' love for Lesbia has been quietly nicked by the plow of her own infidelity. Let's read through this poem once again. Furat Aureli, comites Catulli, si ven exture mos penetrabit indos, litus ut longe resonante oa tundatorunda. Si ven hurcan nos arabasve moles, seus agas agitiferosve partas, sive quae septem geminus colorat ae coronilus. Sive trans altas gradietur alpes, caes aris vicens monumenta magni, gallicum re norribilae quor ultimosque Britannos. Omni haec quaecumque ferret voluntas, cae litum temptara simul parati, pauca nuntiate meae puellae non bona dicta. Cum suis vivat, valeat quae moicis, quos simul complexa tenent trecentos, nulla mans vere, sed edente domni ilia rumpens. Nec meum respectet ut ant amorem, quilius culpa cecedit velut prati, ultimi flos, praetereunte postquam tactus aratrost.